Good evening, guys, and welcome back to the Fergie Way with me, Teach FM. And it has to be said, this episode should be a belter. Now, we have got a live comm against Liverpool today. Anyone who's been watching this series from the beginning, it always throws up a good fixture. Whether that be Marcus Rashford grabbing 6 goals in a previous meeting, or whether it be the fact that Liverpool were the only team to beat us in the Premier League last year. Either way, it has to be said, it is very much a grudge match. Now, before we do get onto today's live comm, we have to address the games we played since the last episode. Now, first of all, there's not much been in the way of the news. No big injuries or anything like that, so we will go straight into the games. Now, last episode, of course, we did beat Arsenal 3-0 at Old Trafford, and from there, we had our first game in the Champions League. And that game was against Legia Warsaw in Poland, and just look at those yellow cards. I have not got a clue what was going on. Yes, we were playing our second string team. It did end 0-0, but it just looked like a right old ding-dong of a battle with maybe some favourable refereeing decisions on their side. Very, very poor game, to be said. A very, very poor game, it has to be said. One that we'll try to forget. But on the positive side, at least we managed to take a point. We then went from there and took the journey up the motorway to St James's Park to play Newcastle, who have been flying high. They finished quite well last season and they're doing quite well in the Premier League this year. We did manage to get a 1-0 win. It was via Anthony Martial. We were playing a strong team though, so it's sort of becoming expected. So yeah, they didn't really come at us that much. They played quite poorly. We played very average. We managed to nick a goal quite early on and then just seeing out the rest of the game. Martial bagged it. Was nothing spectacular. It's more of a case of put your head down and move on. Now, what was probably the most exciting game since the last episode was our EFL Cup game against Hull. Now, Memphis grabbed a couple of goals. One of them was a free kick, which was a bit of a cracker. The second goal came from a Martial over-the-top ball. It was a deft pass, it has to be said. Memphis just put his head on it. But yeah, Martial grabbing himself a goal as well, once again, fed by Memphis Depay. And it was one of those days that although we were playing slightly second string, everything just came together well. Hull were never really at the races. We dominated them from the beginning, and it paid off. 3-0 winners and through to the next round. And in the next round, we got Dave Azzopardi's Wolves. So it will be the second time we've played them this season. Once again, it will be the younger guys who are going out to play them. One thing I will say about Wolves is there's a chap who does a lot of content for FM, but equally, if you happen to be a Wolves fan or just like matchday vlogs in general, Dave Azzopardi's link, I'll pop it in the description. He does do vlogging of match days. When he goes to Wolves, he goes to home games, he goes to away games. Definitely worth checking out. And as a bonus, does some cracking FM content too. So, link will be down in the description. So with all that being said, I suppose all that's left is for us to go into today's live comp. Now, it's Liverpool. It always ends up an interesting game. But I think the biggest thing to consider for me is only a few days later I've got Juventus. And the Liverpool game's massively important to me. But getting those 3 points against Juventus in the Champions League, where we've already dropped a couple of points, important as well. So I've got to try and weigh out what I've got to do here. Either way, we'll head to the match day and see what team I picked. So we're at match day, guys. What is a massive game for me. I've always said this. Liverpool, City, when you're in the Premier League, they're the big games for me. They're the ones that I'm always going to live com. They're the ones that I always want to win. Unfortunately, wasn't the case at the back end of last season, but nonetheless, we put it behind us and we'll seek some revenge today. Both the press and the bookies are backing us today, saying that we'll be favourites for the game. Juan Mata is our key man, and surprisingly, Lazar Markovic is theirs. But as we move into the team selection screen, guys, and as I say, I was always going to have problems here because I've got one eye on Juventus, and bearing in mind that the Champions League is actually the main trophy that we're going for this year. It's the one we want to win. It is the one that will define the series, and it's the one that we really want to push and try and get. So I've had to try and weigh up the importance of each fixture, and both of them have equal importance to me. This one because it's Liverpool and we owe them something from the last game. But the next one, Juventus, we really need to try and take those 3 points based on the fact that we drew against Legia Warsaw in the first game of the Champions League. So I'm going to try and go pretty strong in both. Nonetheless, we'll look at today's team. As you can see, we've got De Gea in the sticks, David Alaba, Romagnoli, Smalling and Sidibe at the back. We have Pogba, Fosu-Mensah being chosen over Ruben Neves just because I feel Fosu-Mensah's played in the game a little bit more. Renato Sanchez as a supportive midfielder. We then have Juan Mata as a trequartista, Zlatan Ibrahimovic as a complete forward, and Marcus Rashford up top. Now, Marcus Rashford, of course, scoring 6 goals against Liverpool in a previous fixture. Zlatan's a little bit... At the moment, he's not scored in about 10, so maybe, just maybe, today's the day he's going to break that curse. As we move on to the Liverpool team, they have got Mignolet in goal with a Moreno, Matip and Bemba and Klein at the back, with Emre Can and Jakub sat ahead of them, so they're playing very defensive back there, but then there's a big gap. Philip Coutinho playing out on the left and Mane out on the right, Benteke up top, and Isco sat in behind. And I've mentioned Isco about the way transfers have been now. I never needed an attack midfielder, so I wouldn't have been interested. However, you can bet your ass if I was, I wouldn't have been able to get him for only 23.5 million quid. A little bit sour over that one. So as we move into Roy Keane's room of pain, and he's saying, yep, he's dolling it out everywhere. However, he's left out Mane, which I'm not going to buy. I want to go for Mane all the time, and also I want to close him down. But other than that, we will go into the team talk. Now, the team talk here is telling us to prove a point. We know by now this one is about the fans. It brings greens. We've got greens going off here. I am going to tell Romagnoli that I've got faith along with Smalling. He should know that anyway. And Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I'm calmly going to tell him to show me what he's got, because he really needs to pull his finger out now. He really, really does. So it's the first highlight. There'll not be much going on, but hopefully by the next one, we should see something. So it's Coutinho on the ball now to Isco. Liverpool sat very deep at the minute. We are 4 minutes in now before we got the first proper highlight. It's Mata now to Ibrahimovic, out to Pogba, Pogba to Rashford. Curry's on the good form against Liverpool. 1-0. We needed a good start. We've not been that convincing of late. Rashford either. But showing why he should be picked for this fixture. Zlatan Ibrahimovic with a key pass to Pogba. Pogba slips it across to Rashford. Near post goal. We see a lot of them on FM17. But it is great to see Rashford score. Can he get 6 again? Probably not. But if he can get 3, I'll be over the moon. Mata now to Pogba. Rashford running through. Oh, he's not... Oh... If only. For a second I thought he was going to manage to lob Mignolet from that distance and didn't quite work out. 10 minutes in. We've had a couple of chances. Liverpool have had nothing yet. It's Alaba now to Pogba. Pogba drives forward. Shot from distance. It's back in Mignolet's hands. It's Klein now to Mane. Nathaniel Klein to Isco. Isco to Mane. For a second I thought it was a penalty, but it was Mane offside. It's Alaba now to Pogba. Out to Fosu-Mensah. Mensah with a shot, it's fell to Sanchez. Zlatan! Saved by Mignolet. Zlatan trying to get himself in the game. I'd love to see him get a goal today, because since he's come back from his injury, he's been pretty poor, but we've got to give him a bit of time, haven't we? Old head in the dressing room, don't really want to lose him. Half an hour gone. I am just going to passionately tell the guys that I want more. I'll say passionately because this is a passionate game. Normally I would go a little more assertive, but it's Sanchez on the ball now to Pogba. Sidibe. He will get a crossing though. It's Mata arriving at the near post. It's 2-0 United. Sidibe and Mata go to celebrate together. That puts the gap 2 goals. Liverpool are not going to get back in this now. Sidibe, low cross. Mata arriving between the defenders, it has to be said. They should have had him picked up there. We will not be bothered that they didn't know. 2-0. 2-0, we'll take it. It's Romagnoli now. Pogba. Pogba putting Mata through again. Is it going to be 2 in 2 minutes? It's a save by Mignolet. If that would have went in. Wow. Mata with a free kick. Smalling nodded it down. Mata on the edge of the area now to Pogba. To Sanchez. Pogba again. Pogba with a shot from distance. A weak one though. A very weak shot indeed. But we are dominating this game. 60% possession. We're running 10 shots with 6 on target. We're heading into the 40th minute. Liverpool have not really had a sniff of anything yet. And Bemba now. To Moreno. Coutinho. Mata breaks through. It's Rashford now. Romagnoli. Sends the ball to Mata, who once again keeps him sent offside. And Mata scores again. It's 3-0. Juan Mata is having an absolutely fantastic time out there at Old Trafford today. Romagnoli with a searching ball. Suspect offside maybe from Juan Mata. But the flag stays down, slots it past Mignolet. A great finish, 3-0 going into half-time. Made the half-time team talk very easy. Assertively, Very happy. Keep it up, lads. Send them straight back out there. And maybe this will be some justification for the defeat that they took last season. It's Ibrahimovic now. And Sidibe. Has the ball took off him, though? It's Pogba now to Mata. It's Alaba now to Mensah. Back out to Alaba. Pogba now on the edge of the area. Loses out. Milner clears it out as far as Benteke. They've got nowhere to go, though. Liverpool sat so deep. Rashford. Mata. It's Alaba moving out onto the wing. Plays it into Fosu Mensah. Sanchez now. Right across to Sidibe. He will put a cross in, though. No, he won't. Alberto Moreno takes the ball off him. And can Liverpool provide something here? Xisco playing very deep yet again. Rashford. Rashford plays into Mata. Puts it wide of the post. Thought Mata was on for a hat-trick then. Would have been a glorious one as well if he had. So we're in the 53rd minute. Liverpool have already made all of their changes. They're looking to make drastic changes to the game. But I really don't think they're going to come back in this. We are 3-0 to the good. We'll start making substitutions, but more based on the fact that we'll give other players game time. Because at the minute, I'm feeling pretty good about this. So we are going to bring on Neves and Depay. Give them a little bit of game time in what is a massive game for us in the Premier League. We have got one eye on the Juventus game though, so it's likely that I'll probably bring off our star player, Paul Pogba, because I definitely want to feature him that, because I always like to play players against their old teams, as Romagnoli nods one down, Mignolet catches it easy, and Liverpool will maybe try and get some sort of break going here, but at the moment they've had 2 shots and not a single one on target. We are in the 67th minute. I really don't think... Oh, hang on. Maybe they will. Benteke, and he puts it wide of the post. Still not a shot on target. I did think I was about to eat my words then. But 70th minute, they're not getting back into this now. It's Sidibe now. Quarter of an hour left on the clock to Memphis. Back out to Sidibe. It's Neves to Mata. Mata will play Rashford. Rashford had his back to goal, unfortunately. Mata takes a shot. It does go over the bar, but it's the last quarter of an hour now. We will look at removing Paul Pogba. It's probably going to have to be Ander Herrera who comes on. And Herrera is a little bit tired from the Hull game, but we are all about saving Pogba's legs here. Mata whips a long ball in. Rashford now, he's out on the right wing. He's won the ball back. Rashford, he will get a cross in, will he? No, he's gone all the... Whoa, that looked like it went through the net. It is out for a corner though with Mata. Mata's whipped it out, it's Herrera. Herrera's still on the ball. Plays it to Rashford. Rashford loses out, but Sanchez does gather the loose ball. Moreno's won everything at left back today for Liverpool. He gets a big kick in real life. But on FM, he always seems to do quite well. But whenever we've come down the right-hand side, he has been dangerous down there. Emre Can to Lallana, forces a save from De Gea. It was a shot from distance. It's the first shot on target Liverpool have had, and we're in the 88th minute. Lallana now with a cross. Comes out to Moreno, the one we've just been praising, but he puts it over the bar. We are running into what's probably going to be added time now. Yep, the final highlight, guys. This is going to be a 3-0 win against Liverpool. One that we needed, I think. We needed a big win. We needed it against a team who beat us last season. So, yeah, well done to the guys. I am going to passionately tell them a nice victory, well done, because that's exactly what it was. We had a couple of players playing a 9, so dominating performance from Juan Mata. Paul Pogba also playing a 9. His performance was spectacular. He deserved a breather. And was there anyone who was particularly poor? I am going to have to give Zlatan an assertive, you let yourself down out there and had to come off, because I'm trying to build him up. You know, I want him to know if you're not doing well, you won't get in the team. Play better, Zlatan. Come on, son. Romagnoli playing an 8.3. I think he's deserving of a little nod as well. Greens all over the place, exactly what we want to see. So I'm just in the little aftermath of the game, and I'm in the section where I always praise the player who's done well, who the media pick out. I always go ahead and praise him as well, because again, it's a morale thing. And yeah, I'm getting this after every game at the minute. Real Madrid officials keep watching Pogba, and they keep talking about the breathtaking £65 million bid that's going to get instant rejected whenever they send it in. They're pushing hard. At the moment, Pogba himself hasn't been swayed by it, which is good to say. At the minute, he has no short-term plans or long-term plans that involve anything to do with Real Madrid. So I may end up having to give him a new contract towards the end of the season. He is already earning $325,000 a week. But the difference in the way we play with Pogba on the field is astounding, and certainly not a player that I am going to intentionally sell or be forced to because of Real Madrid's relentless pursuit of him. So that's today's episode, all done and dusted. A 3-0 win against our Northwest rivals Liverpool, and probably our biggest rivals. A win I'm happy with, a win I'm hoping you guys are happy with. In the next episode, we are going to be straight into the Juventus game. It's a live comm that deserves to be on the series. There will be nothing in the way of news. So before the live comm in the next episode, I am going to take a quick look at the league. We'll take a look at the squad, see who's performing, see who's not. Take a quick look around Europe, and then we'll get into that just to try and buffer out that little bit of time so we don't just start the episode and go right on with the live comm. So if you have enjoyed tonight's episode, do hit the like button down here. It takes all of a second. A little thumbs up goes a long, long way on the channel. If you're new around here, hit the sub button. In the description, there'll be a Season 1 and a Season 2 review so you can catch up on all the other episodes so you know exactly where we're at. And yeah, guys, thanks for coming along. Thanks for all the support. It has been massive lately. The subs are growing. My followers on Twitter are growing. The comments are growing. The likes are growing. Everything has been amazing. For such a young channel, I'm so surprised at how well I'm doing. And it's all thanks to you guys. So on that note, guys, I look forward to tomorrow's episode. I've been Teach FM, and I'll catch you later. See you in a bit.